Hi class, there are two topics that I want to explain in this video. The first is short dialogue about agreement. And the second is long conversation about how to answer the topic questions and the detail of the questions or the order of the questions. First, about agreement. Agreement in short dialogue in TOEFL listening is the last skill and also the easiest one. It's very easy, but it will be easy if you know how to answer it. Therefore, please pay attention carefully about my explanation in this video. Okay, let's get started. So here's an example. When someone says, I think the price of the coffee in that coffee shop is expensive. And when you hear that statement and you agree with this person, usually the expression is like this. I agree with you. However, there are other expressions for agreeing with someone other than this. So what other expressions to show agreement? The first is, I'll say. You can say that again. Me too. So do I. So here are the expressions of agreement. It means you can say one of these expressions to show that you agree with someone. Now here is in the TOEFL listening test. I thought that the meal was overpriced. Me too. What does the woman mean? So there's an expression of agreement here. Me too. It means this woman agrees with the man's statement that the meal was overpriced. When you hear an expression of agreement, find in this ABCD the words that also has the same meaning with same agreement. In this case is same opinion. So the best answer to this question is B. Now if you hear the response like the ones we discussed in the previous slides, like I agree with you, I'll say, you can say that again. Me too. So do I. Find the answer on A, B, C, or D. These words. The same opinion, share opinion, in agreement or agree, blah 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 also, blah blah blah, blah 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 too, and so. So find on ABCD this expression to answer the type of agreement questions. Now here's an example. This homework is going to take forever. I'll say, what does the man mean? So there's an expression of agreement here, I'll say, and find on ABCD one of these words. And can you find it here on ABCD? There you go. The same opinion. Right? So the answer is C. The next example. A trip to the park might be nice. You can say that again. What does the man mean? So this is an expression of agreement. Now find on the A, B, C, or D this expression or words. Can you find it here? Yes, there it is. Agrees. So that's the answer. Now the last example for agreement. I think it's time to go home. So do I. So what does the woman mean? This is an expression of agreement. And here are the alternative of the answers. Can you find it? There it is. Also. So that's the answer. So you just have to remember the expression of agreement and also the alternative of the answers. That's all. It never changes. It's like that. Alright. Now we are going to long conversation, the topic and the order of the questions. It also covers the details questions in listening of the TOEFL in Part B, long conversation. So what is the topic? As you listen to each conversation in listening Part B, you should be thinking about the subject or the topic or main idea for each conversation. Since the first one or two sentences in the conversation generally give the topic, you should be asking yourself what the topic is while you are listening carefully to the first part of the conversation. Okay, here's an example. So here's a dialogue or long conversation between a woman and a man. Now pay attention carefully.
Exercise 9, page 52. Listen to each complete conversation and answer the questions that follow. Questions 1 through 4. Listen as two students discuss what a professor said in a recent class.
Did you understand the assignment the professor gave us today? I'm not sure that I did.
He said to read chapter 6, didn't he?
Yes, he said to read chapter 6. Then I think he also said something about answering the questions at the end of the chapter.
He said to answer the questions too? I didn't hear that part of the assignment.
I think he did, but I'm not sure. Maybe we should go ask one of the other students what the assignment is, just to be safe.
I think we should.
So, to answer the topic question, you just have to pay attention to the first and second sentences of the conversation. So, the rest of the conversation is covered here. Now, to answer the topic, let's read again. Did you understand the assignment the professor gave us today? I'm not sure that I did. He said to read chapter 6, didn't he? So, they talk about the assignment from the professor. So, that's the topic. The assignment for class. Now, the next topic. Let's hear it.
Questions 5 through 8. Listen as two people describe something that happened to a friend.
Did you hear what happened to Greg?
I heard he got stung by a bee.
Well, he did get stung, but it wasn't by a bee. It was a hornet that stung him while he was out walking in the park.
If it was a hornet, then Greg probably came very close to the hornet's nest. I understand that hornets usually only attack if they're trying to protect the nest where the eggs are waiting to hatch.
So hornets are only dangerous if you come close to their nests?
Yes, so Greg probably came close to a hornet's nest while he was out on his walk to the park.
Then we should find out where Greg was walking and not go walking there.
Okay, again, to answer the topic question, you just need to focus on the first part of the conversation. In this case, here's the first part. Did you hear what happened to Greg? I heard he got stung by a bee. Well, he did get stung, but it wasn't by a bee. It was a hornet that stung him while he was out walking in the park. So it's about Greg. What happened to him? He got stung, but not by a bee. It was by a hornet. So Greg got stung by a hornet. So that's the topic. So that's the hornet. Now, the order of the questions. To answer the detailed questions in listening part B, they are generally found in order in the conversation. This means that as you listen to the conversation, you should be thinking about the answers to the question in the order that they are listed in the test book. Now, here's an example. On the recording, you hear like this. And this is the question. Usually, the question for number 1, the answer lies on the first part of the conversation, and the next question lies on the next part of the conversation, and so on. So, mostly in listening part B questions, the answers and the questions are put in order, not in random numbers. So, number 1 is around here, number 2 is around here, and so on. Number 3 will be lower than this, and so on. Now, let's try to listen to the audio first.
Page 51. Example from the paper TOEFL test. Questions 1 and 2. Listen to two students on a university campus.
Can you help me? I'm lost.
Sure. Where are you trying to go?
I have a class in Stanfield Hall at 3 o'clock. I thought I knew where I was going, but I guess I was wrong.
You certainly are lost. Stanfield Hall is on the other side of the university. I'm heading in that direction. Come on with me and I'll show you the way.
In your test book, you read like this. Number 1A, he's sick, he's lost, he's tired, and he's broke. So, while you're listening to the audio of the test, you read on your test book the options of the answer here and try to guess. First, you anticipate what is the question about. Now, here's you can try to guess to answer the question based on the explanation given in the audio. Here's when the speaker says, "I'm lost," you can guess that the answer to number 1 is B, he's lost. And then, when the audio keeps going, you also keeps going to question number 2. When you see here about places, you can find out from the ABCD here directly in front of them, to the left, quite nearby, and on the other side of campus. It means you can anticipate that the question is asking about location. So you have to pay attention to the audio about location. And here's in the audio it mentions about Stanfield Hall on the other side of the university, or on the other side of campus, while the others are not mentioned. So you can guess that the answer is D. And then, after you guess it, you listen to the questions given in the audio and answer it on your answer sheet. Remember, on your TOEFL test, do not write anything on your test book, but you can give a mark on your answer sheet. That's it. If you have any questions about agreement and long conversation, the topic and the order of the questions, type the question in our discussion group. Thank you very much. Goodbye.